Alright, welcome back to Wytchwood. Okay. I need to go to the forest. I gotta get some goblin snot. Whoa, whoa. Love that music. What? Seriously, you gotta be kidding me. Goblin snot. Kind of. Okay. Now I can go feed this overgrown frog. See what happens. Do need to run around and just like stock up on resources also at some point. Okay, let's see what happens. Digestive tablets. You wrap a juicy looking grub around the medicinal tablets and offer it up to the Frog King. Your Majesty, I really must find the whereabouts of that gentleman. Perhaps the small tribute will persuade you to loosen your tongue. Frog gulps down the tantalizing meal without a thought. Ah, a delectable gift, thank you, my pretty. Now, I already told you where. His nostrils flare for a moment. Then he sneezes, sending specks of wet mucus flying. The frog's throat suddenly expands, filling with gas. The belch that erupts from its lips resonates so loudly that the entire swamp ceases its buzzing. You avert your eyes, but the noise and smell of the frog's explosive eruption almost knocked you off your feet. Great Glinda's ghost, what a stench. Frog wobbles on its legs, looking thoroughly emptied. He teeters before rolling his huge body back into the swamp with a thunderous splash. You spot the slippery body of the husband floating in the bog water. Luckily, he seems to be missing some bits and pieces. So he should fold up quite nicely. Oh my goodness. Raise the husband's remains at the obelisks. What a game. The circle of power is ready and waiting for its necromantic purpose. With considerable effort, you unfold the husband's decaying body from your satchel and slap it down into the middle of the circle. Invisible shackles wrap around the corpse's limbs and pull its spread eagle against the ground. Strange mist rises from the obelisk, casting everything in a sickening green light. Slowly but surely, the corpse begins to levitate off the ground. It rotates to face each obelisk one by one. Oh, get on with it. I haven't got all day. Give the rotting head a good kick as it passes by you. With a gasp of stale air, the body drops to the ground. Suddenly, it bolts upright. Ugh. Speak to the zombie husband. Well, hello there. Caused me a lot of trouble, you know that? The remnant corpse claws at its throat. Oh, sorry. Wait a moment. Near your feet, you see a dismembered tongue flopping about the ground like a worm. You scoop it up and quickly toss it into the man's gaping mouth. Black! Though he moves his jaw, his lurching voice seems to emanate from someplace beyond. Murderer! What? I am not. You were quite dead when I found you. No, leech. Murderer! Me! Clutches his hollow chest as if trying to feel his heart beating. Gave me plague, drained my blood. Leech murdered others. He swings a limp arm towards the body-filled bog. I knew there was some awful stink about that sick house. What sort of doctor infects her own patients? Check her office. Find proof. Don't you worry. I'll make sure that parasite gets what's coming to her. But you should head back home. Your wife is worried half to death about you. He turns and looks longingly over his shoulder. You can hear his vertebrae popping. Yes, late. As he shambles into a choking mist, he gives you a crooked nod of thanks. Search the leech's office in the sick house. Whoa, this is an awesome game. Yes, I did hear you. No, I was not ignoring you. I was laughing on the inside. Yes. Dude, this game is awesome. I love this game. While the leech is busy with her patients, you rifle through the contents of the various cabinets in her office, mostly dried herbs and potions. Nothing seems out of the ordinary. That is until you notice a suspicious-looking bookcase against the wall. The books are all fake, just chopped down spines glued to a solid plank. Fingers race across the medical titles and quickly find a loose volume. With a click of a switch, the whole bookcase swings open to reveal a secret compartment. Your heart jumps at the sight. Racks upon racks of bottled blood are arranged like fine wines. Each vessel meticulously catalogs the name, description, and age of its source. Looks like that thirsty slug's been sapping the living for years. On a nearby table, you spy a decanter half filled with ruby red liquid. You wonder whose blood it contains. A dash of salt would remind that slimy worm that there's worse things out there than bloodsuckers. Salt the leech's wine. Okay. The wine is just waiting to be salted. Don't I have like a whole bunch of salt? Spirit salt. Craft. There we go. Sprinkle a generous amount of embalming salts collected from the graves of the leech's victims into the decanter. As the salt devolves into the bloody cocktail, you hear a telltale squelching of the good doctor's approach. What are you doing? Can't you see that this is my private office? I already helped you enough, so there's no reason you ought to be here. She hastily shuffles out of the room. Oh, get out. This place is only for the sick. You're certainly right about that. You walk just out of sight before doubling back to hide behind a withered get-well bouquet. You peer at the vexed leech as it slithers around the office, checking every cabinet and locker for tampering. She mutters something expletive about noisy old women. Satisfied, she sighs with relief and reaches to pour herself a glass from the tainted decanter. Ah, that addition of black fever adds a certain nutty quality. Maybe it will pair well with an infusion of peat moss palsy in the next batch. She takes a sip, waiting just a moment before throwing her head back and guzzling it all down. Lovely. Sharp flavor, full body too. Suddenly, the leech snaps to attention. Her limbs dart out, withering, uncontrollable gestures. She stabilizes herself against the table as sweat pools on her brow. The decanter shatters against the floor in an explosion of glass. What's happening? The leech spasms as the tendrils of ghostly spirits begin to suck the moisture from her body. You watch as she dwindles in size, shrinking like some horrible raisin. Yeah. You inspect the mummified worm, pressing it between your fingers lightly, drained by the very spirit she was supposed to be healing. In your fingertips, you make out the faintest of heartbeats, the soul of the leech. Yeah. Quest completed. Collect the 4 souls. The bear in the forest I still have to do. Don't believe it. This was happening right under my nose the whole time. Feeling a lot better. I think I'm gonna be a few days yet. The air in here is cleaner somehow. The nurse takes good care of us. Okay, now I gotta go back to the, I don't know, it's like the lakefront pathway or something is what it's called. Let me grab a few things before I go. Be thirsty? I need to collect a whole bunch of those things. Forest herbs. Lakeshore path. Two souls of steadfast bar entrance to the camp. But one winks and rubs its thumb and forefinger together. Gold. Carefully press 3 heavy gold coins into the palm of the waiting guard. There, I expect you two can divide them evenly amongst yourselves. Right. 1 for you and 2 for me. What, you mean 2 for me and 1 for you? I'm the one who does all the real guarding around here. You still owe me for that game of dice you lost. You cheated me. Gimme them coins. 2 guards fall into fisticuffs and roll into the bushes, leaving the gate to the camp wide open. As you cautiously approach, the bear drains the last of its enormous tankard and smashes it against the head of a nearby soldier, knocking the helpless man to the ground. And then I walloped him just like that, so next time I catch any of you cowards turning tail, I'll skewer you like a fish and leave your guts for the gulls. Suddenly noticing that his drink has gone dry, the bear bellows to the skies. More mead, you yellow-bellied worms, more drink. Bring me my delicious honey mead. The soldiers taking cover nearby exchange nervous glances at each other. None waiting to confront the bear. There is no more honey mead. The bear wipes a strand of drool from his sagging lips, and his blurry eyes slowly focus on you. A mocking smirk spits his face as he waves at you with his great spiked mace. Say now, that's a funny-looking helmet. Soldier, I ever tell you the time I crushed the bucket-headed barbarians of the western mountains? You decided that now is a good time to leave the bear to his ramblings rather than make yourself an unfortunate prop in his war stories. Bear kicks an empty tankard at you as you retreat back into the camp. That's right. Go get me more mead. Good for nothing, slaggard. Take cover. You can't go in there. It's the bear's tent. Shh, we don't want him to find us. Brewing equipment. Argent. Roomier on the inside than you might think. Large ferocious soldier with many a agonizing story to tell. Weakness unknown. Find the sergeant of the Lakeshore Camp. frenetic-looking officer shouts hurried orders at whoever will listen, but most of the camp soldiers are busy cowering or knocked out cold. Man, the gates. You, over there, secure the perimeter. We just need to hold out a little longer. Sir, we're running out of men. Where's that damn shipment of honey? Step over to unconscious footman to address the man in charge. You might be able to answer that question. Who let this old bat into the camp? I found your quartermaster. He's having a bit of cart trouble on the road. I'm afraid your shipment isn't going to get here anytime soon. What? Oh, crush my rusty britches. About that honey and other supplies, we can't make the honey mead. The bear's gonna flatten the whole camp when he finds out. Camp looks half flattened already. What's all this ruckus about? Well, the bear is the greatest warrior there ever was, which is grand and all when we're fighting the enemy, but once we set up camp, he likes to use us poor sods as playthings to reenact his conquests. And the only thing the bear loves as much as fighting is drinking. Guzzles up so much honey mead we have to brew it right here in the camp just to keep up. Points to a squat-looking device tucked near some tents, a portable brewery. About the shipment of ingredients, I don't see how we can ever calm the bear down. Smash us into the past before the sun sets. Let me take a look at the brewery of yours. If the bear is so in love with brawling and boozing, then perhaps it's about time he received a dose of his own medicine. Determine what the brewery needs. Inspect the brass contraption. A tank here, a hopper there, a bitter smell of alcohol is infused into the well-worn metal. Despite the needlessly complicated dials and tubing at the end of the day, the brewery is really just a fancy cauldron. Seems simple enough. I should be able to concoct just the potion for your troubles. The rattled sergeant shrugs his shoulders at you. Sure, if you think it'll help, but you'll need to fuel the darn thing first. Our supplies are a mess, so you'll have to figure it out on your own. You open up the brewery to inspect its complicated innards. And a cinder box and 5 jars of water. I need clay and embers. A trip down the well, and I should be good. Hi, buddy. Okay. Just gotta collect some clay. Oh, what the heck? Then we can go poison this bear. Oh, sorry, I just kicked the cat. Okay, I have 5 jars. No, I don't need it. You open the brewery to inspect its complicated innards. Okay, I have everything. Jars of water. You slosh cool, clear water into the brewery's main tank. Not the best base for potion brewing, but you want to preserve that honey mead flavor. You open the brewery to inspect its innards. Snap kindling into pieces and scattered into the bottom compartment of the brewery. Should be fuel enough for the job. With the heat of a cinderbox, you set the stove chamber of the brewery alight. It will bring the tank to a rolling boil. The hiss of steam and the sound of boiling water, the rattling brewery is ready for the next step of the process. Of course, need honey for the mead. The quartermaster said he was coming back from the apiary in the field, so I best try there. Then I'll need proper magical binder and a token of the bear to seal the spell. Something in his camp ought to do the trick. The frothing basin of the brewery stands ready for the right ingredients. Honey, metamorphosis elixir, and a torn teddy bear. So only one of those is craftable. Metamorphosis liquid. So honey and a token from the bear. Through the open tent flap, you catch a glimpse of pillaged trinkets and treasures scattered about the spacious interior. Summarize that one of these precious objects might contain enough magical essence to use as a token of the bear. Your eyes have only a moment to linger upon the giant fur-lined bed before a hand pulls the door flap shut. The sergeant gives you a disapproving glare as he ushers you away. Hey, you can't go in there. This is the bear's personal tent. You know, the kind of hell that would break loose if he finds out someone's been snooping. Don't worry. Be careful. It seems like your men are keeping him distracted anyway. You glance over at the bear as he tosses aside a soldier like a sack of potatoes. No way. No how. If you think this is bad, just wait until he finds out there's no more honeymead. You're so afraid of that stomping brute. Why don't you just slip away into the night? Surely it would prolong your life a little. And abandon my friends? We soldiers gotta stick together. It's our only chance. Only there was some way to stand up to the bear. Thought seeps across the sergeant's mind as he notices the potions and baubles hanging around your belt. Say, you're good with magical doodads and whatsits, right? What if you made some sort of protective charm or talisman? Then I could maybe have a chance against that monster without getting my head stoved in. If I make you a protective Taslim, will you let me into this tent? I suppose I would have much to worry about if you did. Active Taslim. Now I have to make that. Earthworm, what's going on, man? How are you? Protective Taslim. What? I need some milk. Wicked gemstone. Okay, so I have to go to the fields for two things. All this honey is ruined. Haha, JJ, what's going on? How are you? Okay. I gotta get, what do I gotta get? I gotta find some milk. And I think that's it. I just gotta find a cow. Ah, where you at, cow? Chickens. Turkeys. Man, where's that cow? Oh, I need 2 of those. And then I need to find some honey. Okay, so I gotta go up. So I haven't been here yet. Harried beekeeper. There's no shortage of bees, but having a rough time of doing the keeping. Heidi ho, I'm afraid we're closed for the season. Closed, but I need some of your honey right away. Sorry, our supply was cleaned out just a little while ago. Funny little man with a cart, you just missed him. Yes, I've met him. He's the quartermaster for the Bear, but he had a bit of an accident on the road. I need to collect some more honey for the lakeshore camp. Bear, well that explains what the quartermaster purchased so dang much. I heard that the lumbering bully would steal the nectar from a larva if it'd suit him. My poor bees have already worked themselves half to death for that order. They don't have any honey left. I wish I could do something to help you, but the only honey left in the entire apiary is Her Majesty's personal reserve. Her Majesty? Why, my sweet spring flower, the jewel of my crown, the golden sun of my... Yes, get on with it. My beloved queen, she's as lovely as she is wise and resides over her flowered kingdom. A shrill voice pierces the meadow and sends chills down your spine. Slave, where's my dinner? I order you to bring me the finest sunflowers. Right away, my love. And make it pretty this time. I don't want another one of your dandelion bouquets like some common wasp. Yes, my sweet. I think I had better have an audience with this queen myself. Heidi Hive. Bee, generally well-mannered, but can be quite hostile when irritated. Queen of the bees, open hive, fantastic pile of honeycomb glinting deliciously. The regal insect looks down her curled nose at you scornfully. That fool beekeeper is supposed to stop the rabble from trampling my delicate garden. Good help is so hard to find, isn't it? I suppose you've come to lend a hand. No, I don't think so. What do you want, little beetle? Seem like a very busy woman, so I won't waste your time. I need honey, your best honey. She tilts her long neck back and lets out a blazing laugh. Ha, do you think I simply give my carefully cultivated riches to any commoner? Do you have any idea how much time and energy is spent managing this colony? Everyone always wants something, but no one ever wants to work for it. In a rustle of petals, the beekeeper comes running over, holding an assortment of beautiful prairie flowers. My darling sweetheart, offer you the finest meadow flowers. I hope you find these to your liking. Is this marigold, you wax-brained fool? You knew I despised this stuff. How many times must I repeat myself? Get out of my sight, all of you. My love, I have wronged you. Let me try again. Follow the beekeeper a short distance away while he busies himself picking more flowers. She seems to be in a foul mood. Does she always treat you like this? Well, yes, but it's really usually my own fault. Sometimes when she really gets her venom up, a little bit of smoke and soothing herbs calm her right down. Smoke, you say? I'm sure I could come up with something to even out her mood. Royal incense recipe. What? Ugh, there's always something new to craft. What is it? Clay. I need more clay. And I need some water. Sneak, do you honestly believe that your little puff of chew smoke can... The queen fans herself lightly as the world begins to push and pull all around her. Woo! Does anyone else feel a little hot? Anyways, I was saying, you can't just... The sparkling sun bears down on the queen like a warm summer's embrace. My, look at all of these beautiful colors. Have they always been so bright? The queen bee stretches her arms across the sea of flowers, brushing the tips of their petals gleefully. She acres her limbs through the myriad of color swirling about her head. It's gorgeous. Oh, what's that delicious smell? Cracking into the waxen walls of her hive, the queen pulls out a golden honeycomb. She proceeds to messily stuff the honey into her face. Delectable. Oh, it's so good. You simply have to try some, my dear. I've never tasted anything so delicious in my life. She offers up a sticky handful to you. I thank you, my queen. Take it. Alright, let's go take care of this bear. If I make you a protective taslim, will you let me into this tent? Suppose I wouldn't have much to worry about if you did. Here, this ought to shield you from harm, for a time. He grins nervously as he puts the charm around his neck, then clobbles himself in the face with his own fist. Wow, you weren't kidding, haha, though that's nowhere near the kind of punishment the bear can dish out. Better find some more stuff to test it out with, then I'll give that bear a piece of my mind. He stumbles off into the camp to find other objects to try against his newfound protection, leaving the bear's tent unattended. Hot teddy bear. Oh, haha. Okay. The honey, as you squeeze the honeycomb with your bare hands, thick, rich honey slowly oozes into the brewery's tank. Too sweet for your taste, but then this potion is not for you. You ladle out a good portion of the withering tar-like substance into the brewery. To be safe, you add a little bit more just for texture. You pause before dropping the tattered plaything into the brewery. A glint in its button eye reminds you of something, but your thought soon evaporates from your mind. You overturn your palm, and the stuffed bear splashes down into the concoction. It floats sadly for a moment before becoming waterlogged and disappearing under the surface. With the addition of the final ingredients, the brewing equipment is sealed and set to work. Steam hisses from the rivets, and its swollen metal belly clanks and rattles. Before long, waggling fingers of the gauges and dials settle down, indicating that the brew is complete. Gave a quick sniff test and recoil at the sickly sweet vapors. You push an empty wooden keg under the contraption spigot and crank the release valve. The brewery strains under the pressure and fills the keg with chunky oozing fluid. It may not be the finest honey mead around, but hopefully the great raging galoot won't stop to notice the difference. Take the keg. Give the bear his honey mead. Ah, Captain, I've brought you more honey mead. The bear swipes up the tankard with his massive paw and tosses the contents into his slavering maw without hesitation. He licks his chops, savoring the peculiar flavor. With a sudden jerk, he bears down on you with suspicion. Say, it tastes kind of funny. What did you do, soldier? It's a new recipe. I thought you might enjoy something with a little more sting in it. Brr, you know I hate new things. I'll teach you to mess with my favorite brew, you hayseed. The bear is upon you with frightening speed. He raises the huge mace in his paw skyward, and you brace for the impact. With an equal measure of speed, the sergeant leaps between the crashing mace and your head. You peer through your fingers as the great clang resounds through the camp. The bear roars furiously as his blow is magically repelled from the sergeant's taslim. The mace goes spinning out of his paw and falls into the lake with a great splash. He gasps, dumbfounded, as the sergeant stands before him completely unharmed. Ha! That'll teach you to pick on us, you big oaf. This has been a long time coming. The sergeant wags his finger at the bear. Who do you think you are, huh? You think you're so big and tough with your fancy feather hat and your big honkin' club. We look at you now. Well, look at you now. The camp soldiers gather to witness in stunned awe. Miraculously, the bear seems to shrink in the face of the sergeant's onslaught. If it was up to me, you'd be dishonorably discharged for disorderly conduct. You're a disgrace to the uniform. You're no captain of mine. With fear welling up in his eyes, the bear shrinks and shrinks until he is reduced to the size of a small cat. And another thing, what's happening? In place of the bear's drunken grimace is the stitched smile of a doll's grin. Two button eyes stare back at the disapproving faces surrounding the little pushy toy. Sergeant takes a step back to reveal the small shape of a stuffed teddy bear, where the brute once stood. Your transformative potion has finally done its work. Gee, I guess I overdid it. He scratches his head in befuddlement, but seems genuinely relieved. Hey, Sarge, I guess that means you're in charge now, right? Oh yeah, I guess it does. Well, what are you all standing around for? The camp's a mess. Let's get to work. Collect the soul of the bear. Pick up the diminutive doll and brush some sand off of its fur. As you inspect it further, its head lolls to face you. Far within the glassy surface of its button eyes, you can barely make out a tiny crimson flame, the trapped soul of the bear. This ought to be what that goat is after. I hope he's happy. Soul of the bear, leech, snake, and ox jostle in your satchel with fearful energies. That's that then. I better get these back home to the goat before he ransacks the rest of the place. Yeah, okay. So those are the first 4 soul. Oh man. Okay, now I gotta remember how to get back home. The goat rears its head at the sight of you. Its hooves pound the ground excitedly. Most excellent. I can sense the presence of spirits about you. You must have captured the souls I asked for. No small task, I can tell you that. So what do you plan on doing with them? Oh, this and that, nothing you must concern yourself with. What's important is that you are one step closer to fulfilling your contract with me. Just go ahead and place them in the shrine there. I'll take care of the rest. The goat shakes its head towards a carved relief in the back of the room, grinning in a horrible way that no goat should. Stuffed bear. You bring the stuffed bear close to the carved stone relief in the wall. It spontaneously bursts into flames in your hands, burning away until a harsh red stone remains. The stone zips out of your grasp and straight into a socket in the wall, buzzing like some angry insect. You are buffeted by flashes of the bear's wrath, drunken, roaring, cowering body, splintered wood, the smell of honey. As with the first, the mummified husk, the leech turns to ash as you bring it close to the wall, leaving only a glowing orb in its place. Images of the leech slithering into your mind, the prick of a needle, the drip, drip, drip of draining fluids, soothing words, restless sleep. Prismatic colors flash through your head at the thought of the snake. Secrets lapped up by a forked tongue whispers beneath the sound of festivities. The oxen brings with him the overbearing heat of the midday sun, the salty tang of sweat in the soil, suffering, sacrifice, solitude. Oh, cool. Step away from the shrine and its smoldering stones. Your burdens suddenly feel much lighter. Besides you, the sleeping maiden stirs in her slumber but does not wake. Now then, you have a very long day, why don't you get some rest? Tomorrow we shall pick up bright and early. Yes, I am quite tired. Ew. Good morning, Swamp Lily. I trust you slept well. Like the dead. Stretch out your back, making a sound like snapping twigs. Well, no time to dilly-dally. I sense the next 4 souls on our list. We must travel east, out of the forest towards civilization. I hate crowds. Well, it can't be helped. You must seek out these souls in the village, market, the docks, and the graveyard. The graveyard might at least be reprieve from the chattering townsfolk. Alright, go. I'll bring you your souls. Seem much more reasonable today. A change of heart, perchance? These next 4 are anything like the last. They'll get what's coming to them. I'm glad we have reached an understanding. Collect the 4 souls for the goat, the cat in the market, the rat in the graveyard, the fish in the docks, the ram in the village. Okay, so how do I get there? goat. I'll help you out. Trust me. Can I exit this way? No. Wait a minute. To the east, that is where you'll find the souls we seek. Okay. The docks, the village, the market, graveyard. So how on earth do I get there? Up to the village, okay. Let's go check the village out. Loose cobblestone. A rodent lard. Whoa, a skeleton key would lock this portal back up. What? Skeleton key, logger's hatchet. I'll need a shiny distraction. Are you serious? Anxious sheepdog. Burned out shop. Villager. Oh, there's a cat. Cat treat. Disinterested in the lowly affairs of humans. Pickpocket. Oh. Discarded shanty. First glance, this looks like a neglected shack, long ago fallen into despair. But your canny gaze reveals its construction to be beyond the ravages of time, standing overlooked yet constant until properly disrupted. Running your nail along the grain of one of the nailed-up boards proves to be just the disruption it was waiting for. Are you serious? So what are these places? The market, the mountain. So the market, village, docks, graveyard. Distant chill emanates from the aperture. So does that pickpocket dude do anything or what? Graveyard, mummified head. Okay. I am super tired, so I'm going to end it here. Exit. I love this game. This game is so cool. Highly, highly recommend it. What kind of settings there? Audio, language, credits, dialogue, camera, vibration. Okay. All right, that's it for me. I'm out.